Nintendo. Yeah!
Are we live? Are we here? Are we finally here?
I think so.
Welcome to the Nintopics Podcast, a couple minutes edition. A little bit late because I had some technical issues behind the scenes with our light. It went off. It came back just a little while ago, and so we're back. That's important. We're here. So thank you everyone for your patience. You guys are amazing because we have a good podcast today. We have a great podcast today. But before that, I would like to introduce the All-Star cast. We are a trio today, starting with the one, the only. Zelda's mama is not here today. We have Hyrule consultant, Joycey J. How you doing, Joycey?
Hi, guys. I am doing fabulous. I am now a Hyrule consultant. I retired from being Zelda's mama because I think she got sucked in a portal and she's back in time. So, got to do something else.
And then we also have we have a turtle in here, like a brand new ninja turtle. I think it's like the fifth turtle here. Paul, the turtle.
He's the security.
Cowabunga.
He's the one who taught Master Splinter what he knows, and so that Master Splinter's taught the turtles what he knows. So there you have it. How you doing, Paul?
True story.
Pretty good. I was working my martial arts with Hamato Yoshi. In Japan, while I was also helping inspire a young Hiroshi Yamauchi Sr. to create what would become Nintendo in 1889.
Wow.
So I was doing a couple things, and I time traveled to 1983, and I was like, I'll just pick this year to be born in. But that's pretty interesting life.
So does that mean you're responsible for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3?
I mean, depending on how far back you go, I'm responsible for all of it.
Well, okay, so I think you dropped the ball in that one just a little bit.
You also forgot to tell Miyamoto to make all the Zeldas, concurrent, so they all actually
right
are more than legends, like a full story. Paul, you're going to do the whole timeline again.
Oh boy, maybe I'll have to go back.
Yeah, you're going to have to go back. So can you squeeze that in this weekend?
Yeah.
Hopefully. All right.
You won't know. I mean.
No, of course not. The world will just magically change.
It'll just be different. And, you ever wonder what deja vu is? Deja vu is actually someone time traveling. And they rewound time just enough that you relived it. That's what deja vu is.
Actually, that's not 100% true, but that is a great theory. Really what happens is it's your other self from the other universe actually switching places with you. That's why it's kind of like everybody remembers certain things a certain way from one universe, right? Like, I'm sorry, I come from the universe where it was Berenstain Bears. It's not Berenstein, it's Berenstain Bears. I'm from the universe where there was a cornucopia in the Fruit of the Loom logo. I'm from that universe. So my doppelganger is somewhere in my original universe, and I'm stuck here. I don't know exactly how that works, but I'll figure it out.
That's right.
These are the things we discuss, guys. This is a normal conversation for the three of us.
Yeah.
And also, we're all wearing our gaming T-shirts today. Represent. So I got to get more. I only have like 2, and my Skyward Sword one is struggling because I wash it so much.
All right, so for now, it's no secret that I have a bet out there. It's ongoing. It's on Twitter now, on Twix, that if the Nintendo Direct is not either on Wednesday or Thursday, I'm still not convinced it's on Tuesday, then I have to color my hair purple. Okay?
I like purple, so I'm okay with it.
Well, I have a picture there that I made like with the Photoshop.
Looks good.
I saw that. It looks good.
It's a Photoshop thing. I don't know how the real thing is gonna look. So we'll find out.
I think you can go a little bit darker, a little bit darker.
Yeah.
But I think purple will look good. And then if nothing else, you can always wear your beanie.
Yeah, you're right. I have a whole bunch of beanies. But yeah, and I want to also introduce the fourth and one of the best podcast hosts we have, you guys. All right, so I want to thank you guys for being here. You're going to be part of the podcast today. And today we had a new topic that was added just today that Joycey and Paul, of course, are going to love because it marks the official beginning of The Legend of Zelda live action production. Officially, we are in production for the live action movie of The Legend of Zelda. West Ball kind of sneaked it by and nobody kind of saw it. I'm like, wait a minute, this is crazy. So I made a video on like really hype on that part, and we'll talk about it later today. The first part of the podcast, we're going to go ahead and do a little prediction really quick for the actual direct next week, because it's happening next week. To me, it's happening next week, which is on the Wednesday or the Thursday. And so we'll talk about that a little now for the first topic, and then our next topic, which is the bigger topic, we'll go ahead and dive in to The Legend of Zelda, because the timing of everything is just very coincidental to me. The fact that he changes his profile, the wording and everything, and then us almost expecting a direct that was already leaked by Midori, not in content wise, but in what type of direct it was going to be. She said it was going to be, or he, peak direct, meaning the best direct that they've ever seen. And in order for that to be the best direct, can you imagine? Legend of Zelda movie, right? Presentation, Miyamoto, Avita Rad, West Ball, and yeah, let's leave it there for now. But for now, yeah, Nintendo Direct is happening next week, and today I think I have a little game here that was created by our friend. He was here last week, Nintopics, and it's basically the same exact game we had from before, where you get $20, and you get to pick a couple of games to see which some of these games make it to the actual direct. So we have that game to play today. Compliments of Nintopics, and then after that, we'll go ahead and talk about the Nintendo Direct. So without further ado, let me go ahead and show you guys the actual game right here. Get the music going. Let's see here, Nintendo.
Shout out to Yoshi. I always think of Yoshi because I can actually, they sound like they're his footsteps.
Yeah, you're right. Wait a minute, why is it okay, let's see here. All right, so there we have it. All right, so yeah, so basically we have that. Midori did say, actually, we have that once she was asked by another person, she replied that it was going to be peak, meaning the best they've ever seen. You know, peak is like Nintendo. What is peak to you, Joyce, and Paul?
Peak is the.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
We are in peak Nintendo mode right now, where Nintendo is operating on all cylinders. Their best console ever, their best game output ever, the most consistent releases ever, the best relationships with third parties ever, and the best overall global marketing and advertising. That's, in my opinion, peak Nintendo. So for something to be peak, that is the best.
The best. What does peak mean to you, Josie?
Everything is peak to me at this point, because I look at it like this.
Yeah, you're right.
I look at it because I've gotten everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I got two. That's right, me. I got this. Two huge Zelda games on one console. Mm-hmm. I got plenty of spinoffs. I have discovered games that I thought I'd never play. Mm-hmm. I'm so full. I have a backlog. And Chad, I was telling Mike and Paul beforehand, I was up at 1:30 in the morning on Amazon just buying games. They were on sale, so it's okay. I'm gonna be mad when the credit card bill comes in, but still, that's see what I'm saying. So everything. So for me right now, anything they give us is peak, because I'm just happy for everything. I have a little bit of a different opinion, because everything that I have, there's no way they're going to drop another huge 3D Zelda. They're not going to drop another huge. We're not getting Splatoon 4. We're not getting a big 3D Mario game.
Yeah.
Not on Switch. Not on Switch. Maybe next gen, but not on Switch.
Agreed.
So whatever they have is just going to be good no matter what.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, I 100% agree with Joycey. And basically, she made the point that everybody has their own version of Peak. Guess what? Tomorrow or the next direct, let's say they have the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, but you want Twilight Princess, or they had Twilight Princess, but you wanted Wind Waker. You know what I mean? So everybody has their own version of Peak. The same thing I said on the video. I'm like, it's Peak, but everyone has their own version of Peak. I think that Peak for me means that there's something for everyone. Like, even if there's this one game that just stood out for me, I'm like, man, if there's something for everyone, if everyone can leave happy, but there's one of the games that were announced, maybe a remake, a port, something related to you, then I think that is actually Peak. Now, if there's like 2, 3, 4, 5 things that were like perfect related to you, and you are, to me, that's just above Peak. But Peak means there's something for everyone, and I have a feeling like there's going to be something hopefully for everyone. And here we have the bingo type of $20 game. That this one was created by Nintopics. You can see there, Nintopics was with us last week, was it? Right, it was last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was last week. Go check him out on his channel. He is an amazing content creator, cozy content creator. I dubbed him the Cozy King, and so go check him out on Twitter or on his channel. And it says here, you have $20 to build your dream June direct. I actually like the selection on this bingo direct here, because they all seem very possible in this one. It's like you can go with any game here, and there's a big chance we can see them. And so with that, who wants to go first?
I have mine ready.
Ready? Go ahead.
Okay. I have a couple of questions though.
Yeah.
With some of these that don't have something specific, does that mean a new title, like new F-Zero, new Star Fox, new Donkey Kong, new Kid Icarus, or are these like ports or what?
Yeah, for those that are not specific, you can make it either a new one or a port. Like you choose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then that makes this very easy, because I picked basically 5 new games, and that is starting off with Metroid Prime 4. That's just the peak choice, because it's been 7 years since we found out about it and have seen nothing. So we have to. Metroid Prime 4, number 1. Number 2, a new Donkey Kong, because we've gone this whole generation without a new DK. We had the wonderful port, which was Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, but that came out on Wii U, so it's not a new game. So a new Donkey Kong, whether it's 2D or 3D, being only like the second full 3D one since DK64, would be fantastic. Number 3, Star Fox, also new, because that is the most underutilized Nintendo franchise I could think of that has the greatest potential to grow. If they just make it a little bit different, taking a little inspiration from Ratchet and Clank and making it this more robust, big, grand story with still online, with still flight as being the core, but also online dogfighting and stuff like that, and a co-op story mode, and like an animated TV series to coincide with it. Good voice acting, like Star Fox all the way.
Nice.
Kid Icarus, because the last new Kid Icarus was Uprising for 3DS. This one actually could be remake or enhanced port, and that would be great. But I'm going to go, hey, might as well just go with a Kid Icarus. And then I would have said Zelda, but since I can make it new, I'm going to go with new F-Zero, because the 2 Zelda choices are Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. And even though I personally love Zelda more than I do F-Zero, I have to pick new F-Zero over a ported Zelda that I've already owned twice each. So Metroid Prime 4, Donkey Kong, Star Fox, Kid Icarus, F-Zero. Those are my 5. And I don't know, that's going to be a tough $20 to beat.
It's a good selection. And Joyce, you are you ready?
I ain't gonna lie, I can't even see that.
Oh no.
You can't see. Let me see. Let me see if I can actually.
Where can you put it in the Discord?
I feel you, Joyce. I feel you. Let me see if I can actually make it. If I can just kind of just I'm gonna go ahead and copy it or download it and then open it separately. That way it open a lot bigger. Because I'm just copying the browser now. So let me see.
Okay, I can see a little bit. I
Uh-huh.
just can't see what the actual titles are, but I can see like Zelda and I can see like DLC.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
And I wear glasses.
All right, I think I had it now. That's it. Okay, so I think I got it now. I'm gonna open it separately on its own thing. That way, it's easier to see, and for me too, because I don't want to say because I can barely see it too. Let's see here. No, that's not it. That's not it.
And just for the record, guys, while Mike tries to help me see things, the direct has not officially been a date has not officially been announced. So
No,
just so y'all know,
no,
we're just speculating and we're having conversations and fun.
Yeah. But I bet I am ready to bet big that's gonna be next week. It has to be next week. I have no choice but to.
Here, that's okay, Mike. I can tell you what I want,
Yeah.
what I really, really want. So I don't know what costs what, but this is what I don't know where it went, but that's okay.
I have it right. Okay. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay, I got it. Okay, where are we? Okay, perfect. Oh, there we go. Okay. This Mac OS is acting like a Mac, but I think I got it now. All right. And share. How is that? wait.
We're good. I will deal. Okay.
Wait.
Oh, that's a little bit better. I will deal.
Like this. I feel like that. How about like that? How about like that one? Is that good?
That's better. That's a whole lot better.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay. So where's Metroid Prime? Where's Metroid Prime 4?
It's so small. I think it's on the $5 one.
Okay. Oh, there. Okay. Laugh at my pain. Okay. Look, seriously. Metroid Prime 4. I think that's good. I don't think there's going to be a date. I think it's going to be a it's going to be a hint to Switch 2 or whatever they're going to call it. Yeah. But we're not going to know any of that because it doesn't matter. It's like, we saw Metroid Prime 4. It's not an urban legend. Okay, so there's $5. As much as I really want the fans to get Silksong, I just don't believe it's going to be here.
Man, really that game is a myth already.
It's a possibility because things are happening that are coming down the pipeline. So things are happening. But I still don't think this one's going to be it. I think that's going to be the fall direct. Anyway, so what else? Do I have to pick from this particular list for this particular direct? Because I do believe we're getting a Zelda.
Okay, so
I don't believe it's one of these though.
Okay, so yeah, you can just pick a Zelda game, but it'll count the same as whatever Zelda. Okay, let's put it on the same category as the $3 one. Okay,
because I do think that the Oracle games are getting remade.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that'll be awesome.
And because I have hopes for a lot of those games that they're kind of lost in time a little bit. Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks. I know Phantom Hourglass, which with Link that would actually make sense. Yeah. So I have hope. So that's more of a hopium right there, because because patents are renewed and everything doesn't necessarily mean we're getting anything, or we're not getting it now, or we're getting it now. So that's what, $8. And then Metroid Prime 2 and 3. I think now is a really, really good time for some kind of HD remaster or something. From what I understand, they're not rebuilt or anything like the first one was, but
yeah.
Okay, I'm at 11. How much money I got left? 9.
11. You got $4 left.
11. $4.
Wait. No, sorry.
We're going 20.
No, you got $19.
You got $9 left.
Sorry, go ahead.
And I do think it's time for a new Tomodachi Life. I do think that.
Nice.
And then I'm sorry, y'all. I would have had this figured out if I could see. What is that? $5 left?
Yeah, $5.
Oh, totally believe it. Mario Party's coming. I just have strong faith. Nobody told me that. I just have strong faith. And then I do think we're gonna get a. Wait, how much money is that?
You got $3 left.
Okay. Yoshi. Wait. I don't think Woolly World is coming. I think
you can stop it. You can stop it for another one if it's
okay. I just think a Yoshi game is coming.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be new.
$2.
So that's $2 left. Something Kirby.
Something Kirby. All right.
An honorable mention, and I'm so sorry I forgot who said it in the chat, but the Zelda fans, what we all have been saying, Nintendo hasn't said this. This is not a rumor or anything like that, but we kind of low key. All of a sudden, everybody's a Warriors fan, and everybody wants the Hyrule Warriors, the Imprisoning War, and I am so on board with that. That's an honorable mention. Yeah. That is not actually a thing that I believe is going to happen, like at all.
Yeah, but that would be awesome, though. That would be so good.
The Koei's on Nemco, get on that.
That would
we'll take it next year.
And follow-up question to that: would you think that would fall into the? I know that rumor was debunked by the same person who actually put it out about Zelda getting her own playable game. Yeah, they came back and said, "Oh yeah, we weren't really. I didn't really mean it that it was. I heard anything. I was just assuming." But they knew that it was getting out there as if they meant it as somebody out there. So they came last minute and started saying, "Oh no, I didn't mean it. It was a leak. It was just my personal opinion." A little too late for that. After you let it spread like fire. But do you think that an Imprisoning War Hyrule Warrior game would not include Link?
No,
because it would be back in the past, right? Where Zelda and the other characters that were back. You know how.
Let me put it to you like this.
Yeah.
Age of Calamity, which I absolutely love that game. I 100%ed it 3 times. I love it that much. They brought all the champions back. We got to play as Auntie Urbosa. We got to play as Rivali. I actually had a whole new respect for Rivali after really seeing certain things through his point of view. That game helped me a lot, changed my opinion on him. So they can flip the timeline any way they want. It's like, oh crap, I'm stuck in the past. Link is stuck in the future. It is what it is. Oh, okay, let's open the time portal and Link just magically appears. When you're doing a spin-off game like that's about them, you can't do it without Link. Or that could be the great mystery, where's Link or something like that, but he's going to be in the game.
Okay. Yeah. When that rumor was out there, I'm like, the only way they can actually make that work just like that, which will make sense, is Imprisoning War Hyrule Warrior game where Zelda's in the past with all the other, the other characters, and Link is in the future trying to, get that Master Sword off her.
Or there's a different version of Link in the past or something like that.
Yeah, that's true.
If we meet like Link's great grandpappy or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's there, but he's just not there in the same sense of the relationship that we like. Because that was something else about Age of Calamity. That game is pure fanfic of the Z-Link relationship, marriage, love that we really, really, really want. They push that so hard.
Wow.
So that would be interesting to see that in a different limelight. But then again, my other thing is why Hyrule Warriors does well enough. I don't know if it would be enough of a hit for it to do well, because it seems like, not necessarily me, but it seems like a lot of the fan base is really, really over the Breath of the Wild map.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. Yeah. But not everybody feels like it.
I can't have enough of it. I'm still on Tears of the Kingdom, so I'm good. But all right, so mine's gonna be very, very easy. I'm gonna go ahead and say Animal Crossing New Leaf, Metro Prime 4, Donkey Kong. That's already what? That's already $15. I'll say.
I'll loan you the money, Mike. It's fine.
I'll say not Tears of the Kingdom. I would. Let's see what other game was on here. I mean, if I'm not. I know that I've seen updated trademarks for. I've seen Pushmo update trademarks for that, but I'm not gonna pick it. Another for Wally World. I'm not gonna pick that one either. I've seen updated trademarks for Mario Party, but the 3DS one, maybe that could be a port, but I'm not gonna pick that one. I'm gonna go with a Zelda remake, on a Link's Awakening. So let's say a Link Between Worlds, right? That's the one that kind of resembles A Link to the Past, right? Am I right? Like a Link Between Worlds is the one that kind of
Yes.
resembles A Link to the Past, right?
Yes, it's actually the map is almost the same.
This baby.
Almost. It's a wonderful game, Mike. You will love it. The mechanic that's in that game is really, really cool. I would actually like for them to bring it back.
I started playing it on like I actually took this game and I ported it to my computer so that I can play it on my screen, and so I have it there ready to play. But I want to play it in order. So once I get here, because I'm on a mission to play all Zelda games, then I already have it so I can play it, which is pretty cool. Unless it gets ported, then I don't have to play that one and play it on Switch. But yeah, A Link Between Worlds, which is $3, and I only have $2 left. I would say a party game, but not Mario Party. I'll choose Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. Hopefully they bring back that game, but they bring a lot more games moving forward. So yeah.
The Olympics are this year, right?
Yeah, it is in Paris.
In Paris?
Yeah.
When does that start? Because I feel like I have not seen anything about it.
Yeah, they already started with a version of it. I know I've been looking at it. Some things already started. Not the official ceremony, but some games have already started. Already, unless they are still in the pre kind of,
like pre-game stuff.
Yeah, like the prequel.
So they haven't had the big opening ceremonies where they like shut down everything on TV.
Yeah,
and that's all. Okay.
I think that's in September. If I'm not mistaken. Like towards the end, towards the September. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, but it's this year, and I'm excited for it. Hopefully, we get So that's the reason why I picked that one. But man, I could have picked my honorary pick. I would say, man, so many games, so many good games. Kid Icarus, I would say Kid Icarus, because I've been looking at. I haven't played any of the Kid Icarus game, but the one that caught my attention the most is Uprising, because I'm looking at the trailers and I see how action packed that game is. And so I can't wait to kind of like get into it and play it. Yeah. So, and then for some reason in my head, I never kind of seen Kid Icarus as a first party game, but it actually is by Nintendo. Maybe because I'm just ignorant and unaware of the franchise. But I am looking forward to getting into it once it comes out on Nintendo Switch. I didn't pick any of the obvious ones. I know Metro is gonna make it. Hopefully, it makes it. Metro Prime 2 and 3. Silk Song is a myth at this point. It didn't even make it to the Xbox Presents, and that game is gonna be on Game Pass. They won. So I don't know what's going on.
Silk Song.
Yeah. So I have no clue what's going on with that franchise. With they're not even giving us hints on Twitter. Guys, we're working on it. It's almost done. Blah blah blah. We've seen.
It's a really tiny team, though, isn't it? Like only a few people.
But when it comes to communication, I know the game has already been rated. So once a game has been rated, that means the game is fully done. It needs to be played from front to back in order for it to be rated. So it does have a rating now. It was listed on something board, whatever, but it's out there. It's out there. I don't know when it's coming out, but if we see it in this direct, then maybe they've been waiting for Nintendo Direct, which is hats off to them, right? They're waiting, giving us that kind of honor of getting that game.
Real quick,
yeah.
Who said it in the chat? Somebody said something in the chat, and I wanted to
Maybe
read it. It was Boo Mini. He used his member for 2 months, a member of 2 months. So thank you for your membership, Boo Mini. And he said, "Did we address the Paul Gale Network conspiracy yet? Is he Mr. Gale or Mr. Network? Because the world needs to know." So, Paul, would you like to comment on that? Or, okay, so are you like really Paul, or is this your other self from the past? In the
I will, because it is a little bit complicating, but
Okay.
I will do my best to dive in, because even Boo Mini did say later on in a follow-up, it's an important Nintendo discussion, and the fact that the conspiracy hasn't been addressed yet is a bit concerning. That's because I'm about to drop it. So I was born Paul Gale
by the river. Oh, sorry.
But then almost 4 years later, I came up with Paul Gale Network as the company and as the brand. I didn't get the ability to time travel until I became Paul Gale Network, in which then I went back to the beginning of time and helped kind of make certain things happen so that we would have video games and entertainment, because it was a little bit different. Like, if you're wondering why we got the internet when we did and Nintendo 64 when we did and stuff like that, the timeline that I was growing up in didn't have certain things. So I went back. So since I went back, and since technically Paul Gale Network was the self that went back prior to 1983 when I was born, that kind of ended up becoming a parallel universe, which is the one that we're living in now in Timeline 2, where Paul Gale Network has kind of overcome Paul Gale. So I am both, and I could be either at the same time. It's kind of wild.
Omnipresent.
Yeah.
So I have another question. So the Gale in your name, I low-key assumed that was like from the Gale Boomerang in Twilight Princess. So
that's why Nintendo made the Gale Boomerang in Twilight Princess.
I got it.
Also, if you go back, play Wind Waker again. There's a certain island named after me. You ever notice Gale Island?
I'm trying to remember it. I've actually only played Wind Waker like once.
There's an island called Gale Isle, and you could go to the island, and there's a little house on it with a fireplace, and you could go on top of the fireplace and roll into the picture frame and get a bunch of rupees and stuff like that. So Gale Isle, the Gale Boomerang, the Ballad of the Gales, that's one of the songs in Wind Waker.
That makes sense.
There's a connection, and going back in time when I helped tell a young Shigeru Miyamoto, there's a connection between the wind and Link, and you should use Gale in it. And this is kind of my way to create a network of all things good with the future of Nintendo. And like, Paul Gale Network, And then,
so you met him when he was like on his own little adventure, like in the woods and everything, and he drew a map and everything, and that's how he came up with Zelda. So you gave him the idea of Zelda. Okay.
And Paul said, "Hey, Miyamoto, take this. It's dangerous to go alone."
Yeah.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Get it right, Mike.
And I gave him a nice hiking stick, kind of. He didn't have one.
Yeah. And this is all a true story, guys. Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm lost. Completely lost.
Does it make more sense than Hyrule Historia?
It makes
sense. Yes, it does. Like, you're really trying to convince me that the original Zelda came after like Ocarina of Time, bruh. Really? That is not how that. Well, I guess it kind of can work, but it kind of anyway. One day we will sit here and we will really, really, really scare the heck out of Mike and explain the timeline to him.
Already scared.
Yeah, you should be.
Anyway, you know what? Now that we're at Paul's corner, I wanted to include in between topics, because I've been reading a lot of your choices in the chat. You guys are on top of it. You guys have really, really good choices, and you spent your $20 well, right? And so before we move over to the next topic, which is The Legend of Zelda live action movie, we show you a couple of things that are happening behind the scenes that are super exciting about that. I wanted to throw over to what was the let me go ahead and kind of No, no, that's not it. If we can find it. Okay, where is it? Is it this one?
And now it's time for Better Call Paul.
So I wanted to go over to Paul's corner because I was talking to Paul the other day. He has a very interesting story to tell. It's it's about his experience last week at Summer Game Fest, because if you guys didn't know, Paul was actually there in person, live in like live action, right there by the stage. He was one of the bodyguards for the presenters there, so he was making sure that nobody got out of line, so they can kick him against the head and stuff. So gladly nobody got out of line. He didn't have to kick anybody against the head, and everything worked out good. But
They're scared of Paul, as they should be.
But I want Paul to take it over and then kind of take us on a journey on something that happened. Take it away, Paul. You can explain it better than anybody else.
Okay. I'll get to the main. Which is the main part. I'll get to how the event was later, but I'll start off with what made it a little bit unique, odd, interesting, a different kind of hectic.
Mm-hmm.
So just remember, like the event itself was great. Let me just tell you the part that wasn't so good. I got my ticket long in advance for the event itself, and then a couple of days before the event, it was like, "Would you like to buy parking ahead of time?" Sure, I'll buy parking. Last time I didn't, because it was just, show up to YouTube Theater. You follow the line and you could park off to the left and you pay them and then boom, done. I should have done that this time. But I was like, oh, I'll buy your parking in advance. Cool. So I bought it and it showed on the map, here is the place for the parking. Here's YouTube Theater. I'm like, I guess that, no, it doesn't look quite what it was last time. Maybe it's slightly farther or an adjacent lot because it's in the same general lot as SoFi Center.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever, I just bought it. And I'm following the GPS on my phone, and I get there, and I'm like, this is not the area. But, time's ticking away. Like, the event is going to be in 15 minutes. Oh, I already paid for it. Whatever, let me just park. And I'm looking around. I don't see SoFi Center. I don't see YouTube Theater.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm plugging in. Well, let me get the directions now from the spot where I parked to YouTube Theater. It's in 1.4 miles. What? I'm not going to get back in my car and then go drive and then go spend let me just run. Now, I have on the Super Mario Brothers Vans shoes, totally flat-footed shoes, not meant for running. I've got on khaki pants. It's Los Angeles weather. It was cold in the morning, starting to get hot now. I've got on a nice Bowser shirt and a blue, nice blazer long sleeve jacket. And I've got to run these 1.4 miles in, 15 minutes. And so I started to haul off, or maybe it was about that time and about that distance. So I started running, and I had some stoplights along the way, and I'm running again. Then I had to cross the parking lot, run. And I make it to YouTube Theater, and I'm ready. I'm hot and sweating and stuff. And then I'm standing in line to get in. And then that's where the event started to be like, okay, cool. I could breathe easy now.
Mm-hmm.
A fellow friend that I made last year from EA was like, hey, Paul, how's it good to see you? Julia, good. See you inside. Boom. And there I was. Now the event, like I said, was not hectic and I could just enjoy it. But it's going to get hectic again later on. Don't worry. I did sit, like Mike said, close enough to the stage that I was the official bodyguard. I could have sat in the second row, but I sat in the third row, right close to the edge in the middle, right down up in front of the stage. So I was thinking this whole time, if anyone tries to pull something off to my left, they will be safely taken off the stage for the safety of those presenting on the stage. But nothing ever happened. Like
Fear the wrath of Paul.
Everything was cool. It was a nice event. The event itself was fun. For those of you that watched, you probably saw there were a good amount of games shown. A surprisingly high number, I think, of games that also had the tag for Nintendo Switch as well. So if you were doubtful of, man, is Nintendo Switch going to even have anything in 2025, dude? They're not going to just abandon a system with 142 million install base, and by then 152 come March 31st. It's going to have third-party and indie-party support for quite a while to come, and maybe some NSO updates, and maybe some even small Nintendo games, but it's going to be fine. You know, we had a bigger look at like the games coming out on like Xbox and PlayStation. Maybe nothing major, but I mean, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Revenge was quite a highlight for me. I was actually debating to wear my Green Ranger Power Ranger costume there that day out of sheer coincidence, thinking, you know, what would be good to wear today? Maybe the Power Ranger one. And I didn't, because I thought, well, that's not a Power Ranger event. It's a gaming event. And if I did, and everyone else I talked to were like, dude, that would have been so cool if you jumped up and were like, it's morphin' time. Everyone would have, like, Jeff would have probably said, Paul, hop up on stage. Did you know about this today? No, coincidence. But anyways, event itself was good. The after party, that's what makes these events special. And that's what I really miss from E3, which is what I applaud Jeff on doing, is he has this VIP after party. And, you know, it's a couple hundred people out of the several thousand that are in the theater probably get to go upstairs, and we all hang out. And there's different developers and publishers, artists, some other folks from media, Jeff himself. Everyone is just there. And, you know, different people were coming up to me, some that I made friends with last year, which is cool. That's the networking part. That's the Paul Gale networking that I speak of. It's, you know, making new contacts and making new friends and introducing people to one another and collaborating on stuff. Just that human experience, the fun factor. That's really it for me. That's more fun than the event itself. Like if the event was, you know, a good event with good games being shown, the after party is where it's at, because everyone just wants to get to know everyone. So I met some new friends, reacquainted myself with old, and talked to Jeff. You know, I was able to talk to Jeff about Indie Mania, which Mike and I are doing this September 12th and 13th. Yeah, 12th, 13th, and 14th, sorry. And, you know, he thought it was really cool. And he said, you know, he would share with some of his indie developer friends and contacts if they're interested in it. So that was nice. And a lot of people were just very positive about everything. After the show, I was going to hop on the podcast, but my phone died. And then I ended up spending a couple of hours extra speaking with some, you know, new and old friends. But then with my phone being dead, I was like, hold on, I don't have directions going back to the parking lot, that 1.4 mile away parking lot. And it's late because it's about 8 o'clock, getting kind of dark outside. So I'm leaving YouTube Theater. That's me. That's a real life depiction of what it looked like. So here I am.
Next time, Paul, just get your other self.
Oh, I should have. I was gonna, like, can I use my Apple Watch to Uber because my phone died? Nah, I'll just do it. And I wasn't in too big of a rush. I was in a rush to run to the theater, but not so much in a rush to go back to the car. I'm like, it's late. It's probably not the safest walking in the dark, but I'm okay for now. Okay. And then I'm walking for like 3/4 of a mile. And this lady says, oh, hey, or in a car, you seem lost. Where are you trying to go? Oh, so-and-so place. Oh, yeah, that's like a mile back that way. Oh, no. And then I'm walking. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sorry. And then, okay, and I'm walking a little bit, and then this couple just happened to be on a neighborhood walk. Yeah, you do look lost. Are you lost? Yeah. I'm looking for that. She said to go down there. Like, yeah, it's like, you know, a mile that way. So you're going to have to go down, turn around. Like, oh, so I am now running down because now I don't want to be out like too late. So I'm running down, make this giant U, call my wife on my Apple Watch. Yeah, is this the right direction I'm supposed to go? These couples said I'm going here. Yup. All right, bye. boom, 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 and then I'm just hauling it, going back. There's a concert going around, so there's other people like in the area walking to, I think the forum for other reasons, some concert, and I made it back to the car. Like it was a long day. Mind the shoes that I was in, the outfit I was in. The next day, despite running often enough, my shins were sore, my calves were sore, and I had a morning martial arts class to teach. And I was like, yeah, that is a good day. But you know what? None of that was bad. It was just a little bit chaotic, unexpected, but that's the journey. And as long as you can make it out safe, that's a story. And that at the end of the day, it's a fun, crazy story that was a little bit more hectic than I would have liked, but it's entertainment. And then maybe it tells you a lesson. Don't buy the parking in advance. Or really double check the distance between the parking and the place or the address or something. Man, but well, how much distance, how much did I end up running that day?
About 5 miles.
1.4 and a 1.4, that's 2.8 and another 1.4 because of the double tracking. A good 4.5 miles of running, which isn't that bad. But when you're not prepared for it, in the wrong shoes and the wrong attire and in the wrong weather, and half of that being at night, it's not the best.
However, you did get that workout in.
But I got the workout in. I got the steps. You know,
and you
I
got
went to
games.
I went to a
You saw
7-Eleven
friends.
on the way home. I was like, before I leave, let me get a 7-Eleven. I got that two pepperoni slices of pizza. That was my fuel for the way home. And
That was
overall, fantastic day.
Uh-huh.
Even with that, you know what I mean?
And still, you were so lucky that that guy was just staying there to draw you this caricature of you just in the middle of the night, right?
Yeah, that's what I look like. That's really what it was. This.
In the middle of the night, Paul Gale with his Mario suit in the middle of the night running. I'm pretty sure that people were like, "What the heck is going on? Are they filming a movie? Is the movie?"
Are they shooting a movie? Yeah, I mean, is this guy stunt doubling for Tom Cruise or something?
Some guy with the Mario
Oh
suit
no!
running on the street.
Oh, you're actually nice to look at.
Well, thank you, but Tom Cruise is a good runner.
Yeah,
And that's about it.
He runs in all of his movies, so I should have gone wahoo.
I would have just let somebody believe that. Yeah, you can't talk to me. I'm shooting for a Mario movie. There is running.
There
You had a Mario shirt on.
That would have been funny if, if someone said, "Oh, I'm not lost, but thank you," or "Oh no, yeah I'm okay. We're actually recording right now. This is a movie."
So that was Paul Gale's corner and his little action adventure he had during summer.
Adventures of Paul. Wait, that's a video game by itself, you know, right?
Exactly right.
That's a game. You have to get to Summer Game Fest, and you have all these obstacles.
Get to Summer Game Fest.
It's like is it a platformer? Like a platformer runner game?
Yeah, it's part action adventure. Frogger. It's got some timing segments.
A little cubert just hopping. All right, thank you, Paul, for sharing that story. Man, I when Paul told me the other day, I was like, no, you have to share this with the podcast because it's an unfortunate, funny game, funny story.
Hey, quick question for you, Paul, because I had a different opinion. Mike said that he felt that Summer Games Fest was a little long, like the initial presentation, and he said that he was telling me, he's like, yeah, Paul's actually there, and he says it is a little bit long. Am I the only one that didn't feel like it was long?
I didn't mind the length because, I mean, it was a little long, but it didn't bother me because I was there.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to think, if I was watching at home right now, how long was it? 2 hours and 20 minutes?
Yeah, 2 hours, 20 minutes. Yeah.
It could be hit or miss, but Jeff tries to make the event have as good of a variety in games as you're seeing, though. But
Mhm.
anything could be too long if you're not interested. If you're interested, it really helps. I mean, give me a 2-hour Nintendo Direct filled with
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo IP, and I will watch the 3-hour event all day long.
Yeah.
You know, but look at some people are like, oh, this 25-minute Nintendo Direct Mini in which 18 minutes was farming games was way too much for me. And
Mm.
that's 18 minutes of a 25-minute presentation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really, you know, are the games hit or miss? I mean, if you love first-person shooters and you got 2 hours of that, probably pretty satisfied. If it's not
Mhm.
your cup of tea, and if 90% of the games are that, maybe that's too long. You know, like there is no too long of a superhero movie if it's a good superhero movie. Give me that 2.5-hour movie. I don't care. But I mean, I like Summer Game Fest, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
I
it's
enjoyed
also
it.
you don't
just
want to
because-
gather all these people there for 30 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Especially when it's an in-person event at an actual stadium, at the actual YouTube arena or YouTube studio. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that, and you hit it on you hit the nail on the head, Paul, when you said that it has to do with if you are interested in the information provided, it can make it like very long for you. And the general consensus of the particular show for Summer Game Fest wasn't too great, you know. Although I enjoyed all the games that were shown there, and I thought it was really pretty good. But people going there with the wrong expectation, and I think that could be addressed a little earlier before the game show begins, where they can be completely transparent. Like these are the people who are presenting, and not the games, but these are people who are presenting. And so people can say, okay, so Team Cherry is not there, meaning no Hollow Knight, because that was one like, I mean, I saw that in the chat like crazy. People like, calm down, you know. And so maybe that could be addressed before he tried, is that he tried to kind of set the expectation, and he said, you know, people are kind of setting themselves up for failure when they hype themselves over too much and try to expect too much. And he said it from the beginning, but when the show came in, I personally thought the show was awesome, was great, and it was a great showcase from the different types of games, especially that very first game, from the creators of Choo Choo Charles. Is this koala game that's like breaking out of the prison, which is really super funny. I'm looking forward to that game. And I actually emailed out to that person to see if they can maybe show a trailer over at Indie Mania as well, right? Because the game is coming out in 2025. But I overall thought it was good. I think that it has to do with setting the expectation, and people were hyping a little too much. But I also agree with Joycey. I think it was a great show, and it didn't feel long just because we were enjoying it, right? We were actually enjoying the show.
I knew they were gonna. I knew already going in, Nintendo's not gonna be there. But on this, because I don't want Jeff to lie to everybody, but I don't necessarily, because you want people to tune in with their hopes and their dreams or whatever the case may be. Because even though we didn't get Nintendo first party, there's plenty of games coming to Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is that if you didn't watch, you would have missed that. So I think what Jeff wants to do is he wants to be honest, but he also wants people to still tune in, give it a chance. Because just because you don't see your favorite devs there doesn't mean you won't find a game you won't like. That's why I pay attention to these things, because I'm like, because I know how I work. If something grabs me, it'll just stay on my mind until I'm up at 1:30 in the morning buying games off Amazon.
I agree 100%. I think I saw a super chat, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Let's see here. Want to go ahead and highlight that, guys. If you want to become part of the conversation during the podcast, you can do so with any super chat. And then, of course, we'll have the Q&A at the end, where you don't have to super chat at all. Just kind of ask you a question. But let me know, guys, if you can find it. While we look for that, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the next topic today, which
I do have it. Or do you want to hold it off for later?
Do you have it? You have it?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay.
I just can't highlight it.
I know. I know. I'm looking for it here to see if I can find it as well, so I can highlight it. But if you have it, you can go ahead and start reading it.
Shout out to Clifford Favors. It was a $10 super chat, so thank you so much. Very good questions. I think there will be a solid Oh, that's Paul's response. My bad. Oh, you know what? It jumped. He was asked. Clifford Favors was asking Paul, "Do you think they will have a lot of extras on the movie?" I'm assuming you mean the Super Mario movie or Zelda movie, because we're going to be talking about that soon.
Okay, yeah.
Also, will they restrict the cast to a certain height? On the Zelda games, they generally are the same height except for Ganon.
Okay.
So I think he's talking. Well, address Mario and Ganon. Paul, you answered in the chat, but enlighten.
Yeah, I'll say it out. I'll say it out loud though, just in case anybody wasn't able to read that. First of all, thank you, Clifford Favors, for asking the question and for the $10 super chat. I think that there will be a good amount of extras in the movie, because I could see at least one grand scene where it happens a lot in Hollywood. It happens a lot in the Marvel movies, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter does it, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes do it, where there's a lot of orcs or a lot of robots or a lot of apes on scene. So a lot of extras being needed to fill the roles of knights in this grand scene of knights swinging and clashing and clanging against a bunch of bokoblins and lizoflos and stelflos. Possibly. Not that he want to copy and paste it, but I mean, look at DC's movies. Look at just so much. Just kind of has that scene. And it's also another toy that you could sell too, and different kind of shirt and branding. So if you could create as many characters, that could be a thing. Extras in terms of like face visibility, Hyrule has a bigger amount, a larger amount of people exist, I think, than we see. Like in Ocarina of Time, you're like, dude, what, 27 people live in this whole world? No, it's just limitations, and then it's more of a game. But having a full Hylian marketplace or a Kakariko village that spans a lot longer and deeper, think of it as, in my opinion, how they're going to do it is look at the Mushroom Kingdom in Super Mario Galaxy or Super Mario 64 or in Odyssey. Look at how they convey the Mushroom Kingdom, and then look at how they did it in Super Mario Brothers the movie. Bam! It was big. Everything was magnified. It had depth and volume and height and a whole system of hundreds of toads, right? Everywhere. Pipes going everywhere. So I think now in this movie, when you see Kakariko Village, it's not going to look like
I don't think he meant to do that.
Have 20 different buildings and huts. It's going to look a lot bigger, a lot deeper. So people dressed up in costume, having nice shots of Link traveling through. Yeah. And in terms of height, with the trick photography and smart photography and editing, you could make somebody be shorter looking than they are. So you could hire like 5'10" actors, and if they want to make Link look like a 5'4" dude, they could, or just hire some taller ones. But it might not be too necessary, though it would help if the actor for Link is probably no taller than 5'7". Will it really matter? Maybe not, because the others could be taller, or they could use editing to make him look smaller. But Ganondorf, that should be like a Henry Cavill or someone tall, big, buff, like 6'2" plus, 220 pounds, muscular build plus. You could also add CG, and with costumes and fur and a cape, you could always make it look bigger and more menacing. But bigger as the base is always better, because I think it's more believable and it's less that you have to do to sell the audience on it. But awesome questions. Yeah.
All right, and that's a good segue, because that's our next topic, and we're going to begin. I already started sharing the screen here. Really good question by Clifford Favors. Thank you so much for the super chat. And our next topic is one that just arose today. This wasn't planned. But I normally share the details for the podcast day before, but this one just arose today, right? And this is part of today's video. If you want after the podcast, you can check my video on this basically same exact topic here. But if you're looking at the screen here, for those of you who are listening, Wes Ball is the director for the live action movie of The Legend of Zelda. The man is a Zelda fan from the get-go. There are tweets from him dating back 10 years, all right, of him talking about him wanting to direct a Legend of Zelda movie. All right. So the fact that it comes around and he actually is directing the Legend of Zelda movie is good for us fans because he cares about the story, the lore, and everything involved in it, along with presenting the franchise to a new audience, which we know that that's how we should go into the theaters expecting. We expect that this movie is going to be made for a new audience, of course, giving us fans what we want, but also providing enough context that new audiences enjoy and are introduced to the Legend of Zelda. So it all started with how Wes Ball communicates. Okay, prior to him finishing Planet of the Apes, which was his movie that came out last month in May. Wait, last month in May? May, right? May, last month? May, June? Yeah. Last month in May. Planet of the Apes was launched last month, but it had finished back in, I think it's October or November of last year. They finished that movie. And so he's very transparent. I like this about him. He likes to talk about what he's working on. And even though Nintendo's kind of quiet, they're very secretive. Wes Ball in a way is not. So we can kind of pinpoint, follow him on Twitter to kind of keep up to date. And this, what you see here, is his header, like what he has as his description. Finishing Planet of the Apes, soon to explore Hyrule. All right. And so almost made Mouse Guard. That's another story. First movie was Maze Runner. He does that, but normally the first two lines of his description have to do with the movies he's currently working on. Okay, and currently working on meaning he's working on at that specific moment. Finishing Planet of the Apes. This has been on since I would say summer of last year. This finishing Planet of the Apes, soon to explore Hyrule. We covered this in the channel a couple of times over the past couple of months on this particular one since they announced it, and then they announced Wes Ball on the on that he's the director. We covered his description, but now there is a new one. Okay, and like I said, even though Nintendo is a little secretive, Wes Ball is not. He recently changed his profile within the last I would say last week. And he now has a different one. Let's go ahead and show you that very different profile. Where is it? I'm looking for it here.
Oh,
okay.
Good, because I haven't seen it either.
Yeah, so
I follow him. I think
I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing that I did with this one because that way it makes it bigger. Okay, there we go. Opening it up. If I just open the actual thingy. I use the word thingy for a lot of things, guys. So
it's a technical word.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's open. And I'm changing what I'm sharing. And I think this is the one. So I'll share it. Hopefully that's it. All right. Look at the new one. Joyce, you want to read that one?
You go ask me. I can't see. Oh wait, no, I can't see that. Exploring Hyrule, as you should be. Finish Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Dreaming of Mouse Guard.
Yeah, that's the following project that he has after Hyrule, after The Legend of Zelda. So right now he changed it from finishing Kingdom of Planet of the Apes, soon to explore Hyrule, to exploring Hyrule. Now he is right in the middle of production of the Legend of Zelda live action movie. My friends, this means we are officially in production. All right. I don't know where in the States we could literally be in production. Like right now, there could have been already scouting. The scouting could have been done already. Maybe the casting, because you know what? we never knew when the casting began for the Super Mario movie. We just got a regular direct, and all of a sudden Miyamoto came in with the Illumination head, and they just announced the movie and the cast off the back, and we were all surprised because like, when did they begin casting for that movie? Right? We were all like, yeah, there's coming a movie's coming, and normally that information is kind of leaked out by other content creators who cover movies and specifically. But this time around, Nintendo did a great job in keeping the cast for the Mario movie very tight-lipped until the announcement of the cast during a Nintendo Direct. Now that Wes Ball is currently working on the live-action movie of The Legend of Zelda, he is in production, right? This is pre-production. Always, it's been from the very beginning they announced it. That's when they entered pre-production. So a lot has gone on since the beginning of I think it was last year in October, if I'm not mistaken, where they announced it, or November, where they announced that they were working on a live-action movie. That's where pre-production began for the live-action movie. And part of pre-production is budgeting, the location, scouting for location and shooting locations like that. Casting is also part of pre-production, right? And now that he is exploring, we can assume that he is now in production, meaning the location has been scouted. Wherever they're gonna start shooting, they got that. Casting, they might have gotten already some of the actors, hopefully the main characters, which I'm gonna then after I'm finished explaining, I'm gonna shoot that to Joycey so that she can explain who would be the main character if she were to kind of give us a live action movie. Like, who will be the crucial characters that will be present in this movie? But guys, we're in it. We are in production. There is a Nintendo Direct coming soon. I'm not saying there is, but there is a possibility that's going to happen. But there's a possibility that we get an update regarding the Legend of Zelda movie, live action movie, in this upcoming Nintendo Direct. Now, I'm putting this together with how Midori answered one of the commenters who asked about the variety of the Nintendo Direct and how they answered, yeah, it was going to be peak. And so I'm like, okay, peak for me would include a live action movie, at least announcement, like the official announcement, And so with that, I'm gonna throw this question to Joycey. Joycey, what characters would need to be present, like at least when it comes to the casting? Like, if you were in charge of the Nintendo Direct and you were in charge of announcing the cast, what characters within the movie would you think they would announce first?
Oh, first.
Mm-hmm.
What would I do?
Yeah, what would you do?
What would I do?
Uh-huh.
I would go, depending on how long it takes for them to get the movie together. And you guys have really, really kind of helped me understand movie production. I just write. I don't know how anything else.
Yeah.
So we probably, if they started production now, because I think there probably are in the middle, but we're now finding out. So we thinking they're starting. So let's say they started now. About how many years do we have? About, I say 4 to 5.
No, that's this is, remember, this is not a game. This is a movie. A movie normally takes about I would say 6 months to film, up to 6 months to film, and then it goes into editing, which could be another 5 to 6 months. So a movie could be done in a year. Like Planet of the Apes, I've been following his how long it took for him to from announcement, from pre-production to release date. It took about a year and 4 to 5 months from pre-production to release date in theaters.
So for a year, just to be safe, let's say 2 years, right?
Yeah, 2 years.
For 2 full years, that's approximately 6 directs, approximately.
Yeah,
because we usually get 3 big ones.
Yeah, you're right.
3 big ones. Okay, so countdown. Direct 1. We start and we introduce the Gorons. Direct 2, the Zoras. If these people are in the games. Direct 3, we would do. I already said Goron, Zora, Gerudo. Just these are just the tribes, right? We're not talking about
The
anything
actors?
else. Yeah. No, I would introduce the some of the major actors or major players, or whether they're newcomer or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I'm not introducing the main Gerudo, who I know everybody is really caring about, right? So that's 3 directs. Okay, so let's say we have an important character, but they're important, but they're not, it's not, specific to anything else, but they are important. Yeah. Here's my goddess. Fourth direct. Here's my Odyssey. He's going to be playing Cass in the Legend of Zelda movie, blah, 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 blah. He's a very important character. You guys go follow him. Keep up with us, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah.
What direct am I on now? 5?
Yeah, you're 5, yeah.
Here's Paul Gale. He's also an important character. He's one of our favorite Hylians. You guys keep watch. All right? 6. Right before, not even right before, but before the real marketing campaign kicks off. This is what really kicks off the full marketing campaign for the world. We finally introduce who everybody really wants to know. Ganon, Link, and Zelda. Okay.
So you're building up. You're building anticipation for that moment. That's actually good. That's not bad.
And the reason I would do that is because, y'all know the internet will tear you apart over the littlest thing. The internet can be, social media used to be so much fun. It was just meant to connect with people you didn't know and show off your dinner and talk about, what's going on TV and movies. That's really what it was meant for. It really wasn't meant to be what it is now. So if I would think of it like this, do we really care who plays Azora? Do we really care who plays, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Zelda and Link and Ganon, and I believe they're going to go with Ganon as the baddie. They may not, but I believe they're going to go with him because he's well enough known. Yeah. And he's safe, right? If it were up to me, I might do something different, but whatever. But the thing about it is that those are the 3 actors they would have to protect the most. I would have those actors in witness protection. I would have Paul hanging out outside all their trailer doors. Paul kick anybody's hiney who comes near this area. They have to sign NDAs. We're gonna put them in a bubble.
Yeah. What do you call those little bracelets that you get when you're about to go to jail?
The parole bracelet. They are on house arrest. No, they can't even stay at their own house. We're gonna have to find a whole other house for them. Okay, they can't even stay at their own house. I'm sorry, but your mama can't know where you are. No. So, because I would protect them, because first of all, I need your head in the game, in the movie. Second of all, the internet will tear them apart before they even get a word out. I don't, and mark my words, y'all clip this. Mark my words. Whoever they pick, if they are able to create a Link from a petri dish and some AI and make him absolutely perfect, I guarantee you the internet is going to tear them a new one for good reason. For sure. Same with Zelda, same with Ganondorf. Mark my words, it's going to happen because I don't care who they hire. Nintendo ain't stupid, y'all. Link been looking the same since 1986. He hasn't changed. Neither has Zelda. Ganondorf has gotten new outfits, cut his hair, has long hair, but he's basically looked the same as well. So they're not stupid. They're not going to suddenly give us, excuse me, but I'm just going to be real with y'all. This is a safe place and we family. We're not going to suddenly get an African-American Link with cornrows and who's from Compton. First of all, that is not all African-American people. I've never been to Compton. And Zelda is suddenly going to be, it's not going to be anything. Yeah, like
Zelda's not going to be Puerto Rican, guys. Zelda's not going to be Puerto Rican.
Unless, and the only way that's going to work is if they fit the physical aesthetic.
Yeah, they exactly. Yeah.
Because you can look like Zelda and be Puerto Rican. You can look like Link and be African-American. That is a true statement. But I just want to make that very, very clear. Nobody's being stupid here. And I know that I was having a conversation with some of you guys in the chat. I know a lot of people were saying, and Paul, you even said, Ganon, The Rock, when he's all dressed up and everything, he would look like Ganon.
Man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The reason I don't want The Rock anywhere near my Zelda movie, because y'all know Nintendo did all of this just for me.
Yeah.
Shout out to Paul for telling them that at the beginning. Or Paul's other self. I don't know, Paul. I don't know which one of you is here, but shout out to both of you. But the thing about it is, think about the roles that The Rock plays.
Yeah.
He would, and somebody asked me in the chat, and I'm sorry I didn't write your name down. He would make a good Goron. Some of my favorite characters in Zelda are always Gorons. I love Darunia. I love Daruk. Daruk was great.
The Rock will make a good Goron. That's hilarious.
He would.
I'm saying give us the name.
No pun intended. Dwayne Johnson would make a great, because he's got that big brother. I'm gonna tease you and pick on you, but I'm gonna get you out of trouble when you're in trouble. Yeah. He has that down pat, because that's basically the only character he plays, or he plays an arrogant jerk who has a heart of gold. He plays the exact same character. I'm sorry. Don't come at Mike. Don't come at Paul. This is purely all Joyce's opinion. The Rock can't act.
I think he can act. I mean, I don't think he's an Oscar winner, but like judging where he came from, I think he does a pretty good job when it comes to action movies and no drama movies. I think Dave Bautista is actually a better actor. When it comes to movies.
Because the reason I say that is because anybody can do that.
Oh yeah.
When I say somebody can't act, I mean anybody can do it.
Yeah, it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't a good actor. He just had the act, what do you call that? What's that?
He had the look. He has the aesthetic look.
Yeah.
The reason Terminator worked for him back in the day.
Yeah.
The reason the Terminator movies worked for him back in the day, because he was technically, spoiler alert for a 50-year-old movie or 40-year-old movie, he was technically a robot.
Yeah, he barely spoke.
But what made that movie was the mother and son. That's what made it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm sorry. Joyce is very, very tough when I see certain things. If I'm watching Fast and the Furious, The Rock doesn't bother me. If I'm watching a feel-good movie, I forgot the name of the movie. It was the cutest movie ever. Not that one, but it was similar. I forgot the little girl that played his daughter. But he was a football star, and his daughter came to find him, and she was like a little girl. It was really cute. That kind of heartwarming stuff, that's easy. Yeah. It was a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
When I think really, really tough, for people who don't know, Adam Sandler is actually a very good actor. Woo. And and we're normally see him in comedy. Yeah. When you see, I think he's had like one or two very, very, very serious. Mm-hmm. He doesn't do the stupid voice. He doesn't do any of that. I'm like, I didn't know Adam Sandler could act like that.
Yeah. Like Blood Diamond or something?
It wasn't that one. It was the one with Don Cheadle.
Mm. Yeah.
It was. I'm gonna find it now because it's gonna bother me.
But I actually do agree with you when it comes to the acting chops of The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I think he does a good job. And the roles, I think he's good at choosing the roles that he's played so far, just because that's his strong point, right? Not everybody is I'm gonna go back. A Lou Diamond Phillips. Not everybody is to me like Robert De Niro or Robin Williams. For me, Robin Williams was my favorite actor of all time. The guy was like versatile comedian, everywhere.
Robin.
Yeah. And so those are real actors. I would say Tom Hanks. I'll put Tom Hanks in there too as a really, really good actor. Cuba Gooding Jr., one of my favorite actors of all time.
Denzel.
And Denzel, hello.
We can't talk about nothing without putting Denzel.
Yeah, of course. And so,
Game Plan. Thank you, Lauren Banks. Game Plan. That was the name of that Rock movie where they had a little daughter.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. And so,
such a good movie. So cute. Another
person that I feel could fill the role of Ganon is and he's a good actor, Jason Momoa. He has that really he already looks like a gorilla. You don't have to have any type of makeup on him because he already has that kind of a look on him as well.
And it's so funny. He's like allegedly he's like the sweetest person in real life.
Yeah, he's like.
And
Yeah.
I need to watch more stuff that he's in, because I remember him from Game of Thrones, of course. And you know, Game of Thrones, everybody died on Game of Thrones. You know, he died like what, 5 episodes or 2 seasons and something like that.
Everybody dies.
But I just remember him looking just evil the entire time, and I'm like, what is wrong with him? Why does he look like that? And then I start following him on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, you're normal. Okay.
One thing I can tell you about the Legend of Zelda movie, because I'm sorry, but I've been obsessed with Wes Ball and his career. I've been looking at all the movies he's made. I actually went on a marathon watching every movie he's produced, and including Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I know Paul saw it too in theaters. He works a lot with physical and costumes rather than just CGI everything. He is a practical one of those old classic movie makers who wants to find the realism in things. And so he does use CGI for what he has to use CGI, but a lot of it is a lot of makeup and stuff like that. And if you watch Kingdom of Planet of the Apes, I think that's the best Planet of the Apes movies I've seen so far. Like when it comes to the costumes, when it comes to the actors, when it comes to it just felt real for them. I actually, like Paul can tell you, you know, if you saw the movie, the world felt so real, right? And when you watch the movie, you feel like we're the aliens, the apes are the natives, and it's like, it's very, 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 very good. And so when it comes to the Legend of Zelda movie, I don't see a lot of CGI unless it's for
bosses. Like if they have like a crazy
if they
boss
have
or
dragons
something.
and they have dragons and stuff like that, then I'd see something like that.
And a lot of that stuff can be done with like paper mache, and they do different camera angles. You guys were talking about height earlier, like the height characters. I didn't learn this until I was like 20. I didn't know that Prince, may rest in peace, was like 5'1", 5'2", because a lot of the camera angles were shot up. And back in the day, you know, he wore heels before he hurt himself. He wore heels, and then he would always have leading actresses that had big hair but were only like this much taller than him or something like that. But they always had bigger hair, so it seemed like they were all the same height, and he was actually a little bit taller. And I'm like, brilliant. And one more thing I want to say, because I really want Paul's other self to get in here and say something. Paul, you can go switch out with your other self real quick. So
I wasn't to direct the same exact question that I asked you to Paul, which was he's in charge of the direct.
But wait, real quick, I want to say something real quick.
Go ahead, yeah.
First of all, that Adam Sandler movie I was talking about is called Reign Over Me, REIGN.
Okay.
REIG. It's very, very good, very heartbreaking, beautiful too. And you know, I'll leave it at that because I really want Paul and his other self to get in on this. Go ahead.
So which characters does the movie have to have?
You are in charge of the direct, right? Of the direct, and then you are in charge of announcing. You have the cast. You're going to announce the entire cast in the direct, okay? Like they did with the Mario movie. What characters? What main characters for this first movie? Remember, this is the first movie. We're talking about multiple movies. So for this first movie, what main characters are you announcing?
Oh, who's gonna have the most screen time? Let's see. The marquee above the movie's gotta have like 6 names, and it could have some other actor names. Just they might not necessarily be in that marquee. Like yeah. Okay. You got Link. You got Zelda. I think for this movie, you do have Ganondorf. It's kind of a toss because you have the biggest, most notable baddie right away in movie number 1.
Yeah. But
it could be like a resurrecting thing that he comes back, or he comes back with someone else in this. So let's just not get into that. I mean, because it's so many possibilities. But Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf, I think the Deku Tree is going to have a role
Mm-hmm.
because there has to be someone who is wise to talk to Link.
Mm-hmm.
If Link is young and then becomes older, like we don't know if there's going to be. I always picture Ocarina. That's such a yeah. Could there be some actors and actresses of a decent name that are, Saria? You know what I mean? Like from the Lost Woods, a childhood friend of Link, and she doesn't age. But then when he does in the movie, and like he goes back to Lost Woods, it's that same actor, so they don't have to cast two like that. But I don't know if I want to pick like her yet. Impa, because I think there's got to be some kind of powerful woman senior role for Zelda. Like Impa is for Zelda. The Deku Tree is for Link.
Yeah.
Until, let's say, the Deku Tree dies in the movie, which is going to be a heartbreaking moment. So those two, plus Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf, that's 5. And I'm going to go one more. We're going to go with, some kind of Goron, maybe like a King Darunia or, Yunobo.
Yeah.
Somebody like that. Because I think the Goron is a very likable race.
Mm-hmm.
They seem like they would translate well to be on screen, sort of that big brother attitude. Everyone's a brother. They all have a similar lingo. They've got a fun, deeper voice.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that would be the one race that you could just hire one actor to do the voices of all of the Gorons for. Because I think there is some more personality there, but that could be a funny thing if that's what they choose to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's my 6.
Yeah, so it's live action. So I'm guessing if they would go for multiple Gorons, they hire at least a couple of known names and different main kind of
Yeah.
So those are your 6, your main 6 for presentation wise.
Yeah.
Link, Zelda, Ganon, Impa, a Goron, right? A Goron, and then what was the 6th one?
A Deku Tree.
A Deku Tree, yeah. And that has to be Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman.
Clifford Favors just said that.
Morgan Freeman.
Be perfect.
Liam Neeson?
No, not for the Deku Tree. Liam Neeson is like Ganon, I have a particular set of skills.
I am the great Deku Tree, and I have a particular set of skills.
I mean, when I think of Liam Neeson, I really think of him. Now, I can see him being something like Link's like trainer or coach or something. Even though I kind of low key hope they don't do the whole training.
You mean like a parental figure?
No, yeah, actually, a parental figure would work because he's done that. Mm-hmm. And I think Liam Neeson could be a little bit softer. I know everybody's like mad at him for whatever reason, but I'm not. Mm-hmm. But I think he would also make a good sensei for Link, because Link has to learn, where Link does have, we all have natural talents, but you have to try things to bring that out. So when Link starts, playing with sticks or something as a little boy, and he's like, and Liam Neeson's character is like, this boy has a knack for fencing. Maybe I could really train him. And then, kind of go from there, if that's even the direction they're going to go into. Because I'm really hoping, really, really, really hoping they give Link and Zelda origin stories. I hope they give them parents. Yeah, I hope they give them family.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I was gonna go.
I mean, and that's fine. As long, after 20 minutes of love and family and everything, you can blow up the whole village. That's fine.
Yeah. So when it comes to the movie, I think you're right. They could go and fill in a few of the gaps that they haven't filled in the movies. That kind of makes sense. For example, show Link as a kid and his parents, and then what happens there, that he ends up how he does, right? And so kind of giving him a more purpose to his journey, like a chosen one kind of thing. You know what I mean?
There is a reason that Link is always chosen. It says it, I'm trying to think of, it says it in a couple games. It hints towards it in A Link to the Past and Ocarina. it's not that Link is chosen because he's already willing.
Yeah.
Because he's not the strongest. He's not the. It seems like he is, but he's not the strongest, and he obviously doesn't have the Triforce of Wisdom. But he is a very, very smart person.
Yeah.
But it's because Link is the one that is the most willing. He truly does have the courage.
Yeah.
It is, but and also, I mean, that's the other reason why I kind of want to give Link a family, because I don't think that translates well on screen. Like, okay, he's chosen, but okay, like why? Like we, the gamers, get it, but a brand new person be like, why him? Why not Bob? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean by setting it up for a brand new audience to understand. And I think you're on point, 100% right. I think in my if I were directing if I were in charge of the directing, I would announce the cast. I would go Link, of course, Zelda. I'll go with Deku Tree, Impa, because Impa's in the majority of the games as like Zelda's kind of mother figure, or even like assistant, or kind of like guider. Whatever. I'm not sure if I would go in around Hyrule just yet. But Ganon would be one of them. What else? I don't know. I think that the main I would actually stick with those four. Just not go too deep into that, because that way in another future direct I can continue to present more characters and more cast members. And you know how they did with the Mario movie? How they literally with the Mario movie, they gave us the entire cast right off the back. They showed the images of everybody who's playing it, and then they created directs for the actual Mario movie, where they had they showed a trailer, right? And then they had Chris Pratt talk a little bit, and they had Jack Black talk a little bit, and then the following direct they had Anya Taylor-Joy talked a little bit, and they had Keegan Michael Key.
Keegan Michael Key.
Yeah, Keegan Michael Key. They had him talk a little bit as well, kind of talking about his experience with the franchise and everything. So I think that knowing Nintendo, they already had a formula for success in how they presented the Mario movie, right? Even though I think Nintendo was so good at navigating in the waters when they announced the cast, because even though they had that backlash at the beginning, what Chris Pratt is Mario? Are you crazy? We want Charles Martinet. They were so good at just, you know what? Composure. We know the end product. We know people are gonna like it, and so they kind of were good at navigating the waters. They never addressed it at all. They just kind of kept moving forward with the promotional until we saw that they made a really good Mario movie. I think with this, I think they're gonna go ahead and announce all the characters, all the actors, at least for the first movie, right? And then give us a release date. That's what they're gonna do, like the Mario movie.
If you know what I could also see, I've been trying to think. Like 6 isn't enough, but 6 is enough for posters. But 6 isn't enough star power overall. Kind of like how Mario did have some other ones that they played a role, but just not as big of a role. Without giving anything away, they could have, undisclosed name, but like this actor playing as, and also the following actors in yet to be announced roles. Because like if they do too many of those, they'll be like, they said Midna. That's obviously going to have Twilight Princess inspirations from it. Oh, they said Rito, Princess Ruta. That's obviously going to be some Ocarina influences. But if they have like those main 6 or so, and also the following actors that will play a variety of characters from The Legend of Zelda's unique races set within the world. The following, boom, 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 boom. And then the fans are like, well, geez, who could so-and-so play? Who could so-and-so play? Like, that would be a good cast for Tingle. But are they Tingle? You know what I mean? Or are they a Goron or a Korok? Like, we don't know. I was also thinking one more.
Yeah.
But this is sort of a, not that I'm saying like I think this character should be in it, but somebody like it would be Varen. Varen or Varan, one of the main female protagonists, one of the baddie women that's very few in Zelda from the Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages. Because I think having a nice bad guy girl would be a good thing, because it just adds a little bit of variety, and then maybe you have this duality between Ganondorf and her, or maybe, you know,
Yuga, which technically is he, but yeah,
the Yiga clan also could be.
Oh my god, it'd be awesome if you were there.
In there,
a comedic relief villain.
So yeah,
Master Koga.
Master
I
Koga.
love Master Koga too.
Me too. I love him too. It's hilarious.
So there's a lot of good possibilities, and there's a reason why. I mean, we talked about this on the podcast before, but why did Wes Ball say, I better not answer that when it came to what's his favorite Zelda movie? Because you could say one movie and then fans could think, oh man, that's going to be inspired by that. Sweet.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I hope it's not inspired by that. Or when the movie comes out, how come it wasn't by that? Or, oh, why was it by that? You know what I mean? So it could have positives or negatives. And in this way, you know, I'm excited, and honestly, he looks like he's a legit Zelda fan. So
yeah, and not only that, remember Miyamoto is the one kind of. I think Miyamoto would have a little more power than Wes Ball, in regards to what story they tell. He's very overprotective of his.
No worries, I'm not worried
yeah.
at all.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna get a brand new story not inspired by any of the franchises we've seen. I think we might see characters that are within the games, but it's gonna be a brand new story. So don't be surprised if we do see that character. You said vegan, whatever, and she's basically like she knows who Ganondorf is. You know what I mean? And so Ganondorf is like the big bad looming in the background. We know he's there. He's controlling everything, and like the build up towards that very end. And we might. And I personally, this might be what do you call that? Unpopular opinion. I don't want Link to fight Ganondorf in the first movie.
Well, it depends on what's happening because.
Oh, I just got it.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I just figured it out because, sorry, Joyce, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I don't think that's I don't think that's controversial because of the fact that, what if the whole buildup is, you know, Link living his life and Zelda living her life, and then something happens to Hyrule itself, and maybe they have to investigate, and they're like, oh my God, this old evil that comes back every 10,000 years, blah, 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 whatever. And we get like a glimpse of Ganon or something.
Yeah, that'll be.
You know what I mean? And then that's a perfect way to leave off and set up for the second movie. And then the second movie, we go through deserts and winds and snow. And obviously we can't do 20 dungeons because let's be honest, the only people who would enjoy that would be gamers. But they have to go through some big trial, and that's what the second movie's about. There's a lot of action, and they're beating bokoblins, and for the love of God, somebody bring me a Dark Knight, you know. And then the third movie is all about Ganon. We get more screen time with Ganon. We understand his plight and his plan, and I really hope that they use or that they make a complex Ganon, kind of like we got in Wind Waker, where he has a reason. It's just that. You're not going about it the right way, buddy. And I want Paul to say what he was going to say, but real quick, shout out to Liam. You said that a little while ago. He is hanging out on Lilly's stream. Lilly is not with us tonight, guys. She had other commitments, as well as Zach. But shout out to them. Liam said he wanted Snoop Dogg to play the Deku Tree.
Yo.
And I've just been giggling about that in my head. It's like, all right, partner. You know, it's 1 Nick 7 on Ganon. Like, wait, I just don't see how that would work. If anybody who listens to Snoop Dogg's music, you'll see why that's funny. And some of y'all are probably too young for that. But the ones that aren't,
I'm the old double G. I am the Deku Tree.
That's exactly what. Oh, great Deku Tree. We are lost and we need your guidance. Let me tell you, homie. You know, I can't say half of the stuff Snoop would actually say, so let me be quiet. Family stream, y'all. It's a family stream.
Yeah.
Paul, what were we gonna say?
It hit me how you could still have
Who hit you?
awesome.
Did it hurt?
No, the idea made me feel good. It hit me with how could you satisfy the awesome on-screen presence of Ganondorf, but not have like the big epic fight between Link and him. And that is throughout the movie, you see Ganondorf and you have a fight, but you have Link fight Phantom Ganon.
There you go.
So it's not a lackluster ending, but it's not as climactic as you would think because Link wins. And if this Phantom Ganon that you see throughout the film has a lackey or a henchman or a second partner or Varan, a woman, bad guy, or some other kind of bad guy, male, female, doesn't matter, whatever.
Yeah.
Then after Link defeats Phantom Ganon, then he fights this henchman, Ganondorf, the real Ganondorf's right-hand man or woman or whomever.
Yeah.
And that's the last boss of the movie.
Please let me Toga.
And then you're like,
Zant.
you know, you might have defeated me, but you have not defeated Ganon. That was just a puppet. And then we see the final ominous look, and it's even a more hardcore, more demonic looking Ganondorf.
Man.
That's even crazier. And then that's where it kind of ends. And it's like, oh, snap, dude.
Yeah, man.
That way you build up the hype for like, dude, that guy looks even crazier. I thought this Ganondorf that we saw in the movie was dope, but that was Phantom Ganon. That way you have the cooler fight. I like that.
How about we have Link lose in the first movie because he doesn't have the Master Sword yet?
Wait, I'm down with that. You know why?
That's
Because
a
anytime the hero loses, you're definitely getting a part 2.
I love the Master Sword pulling out though. Like that's such an iconic moment.
Yeah,
Still
but
in movie 2.
I kept on thinking of different cool things. Like the more and more I think about the movie and just how I would film it and the nods to the past, like Z targeting. I would love it if, you know, we don't know if there's going to be like a Navi type character, right? But if like lock on Link, what? You know, they don't make it too silly. Like Z, think of it as Z targeting or something. Throw in something like that, but have Link do a designated like, you know, counterclockwise or clockwise shift. I'm also looking forward to, you know, hook shot and long shots being used to grab onto this gate, dropping a bomb, and all the different little weapons and all the different little puzzle mechanics. I hope it's a 2-hour film.
Yeah,
I'm really hoping that it's long enough to satisfy so many little ideas. But
yeah, I mean,
I'm excited.
First, it's not animated, so I think movie could be a PG-13. You know, it doesn't have to be like PG.
Maybe.
And so, yeah, there's gonna be blood.
PG-13 is like the perfect.
Yeah,
I think that's perfect.
And I don't want the Master Sword to be pulled on the first. I need to see some. Master Sword is too powerful. So it's like the weapon, right? And so Link needs to go through some kind of trial in order to become that you know, to get that. I want that moment to mean something, right? To be like in theaters, people are just cheering because he finally got that Master Sword out and he's ready to fight Ganon, you know. And instead of just like, okay, for the first scene, I have the power, he man. Or like the Thundercats or whatever, but yeah, it has to mean something. Hopefully, they do a very good build up to that moment, right?
I will say, and you'll find this out, Mike, as you go on your as you start playing the Zelda games. Ever since A Link to the Past, the Master Sword part has been a big deal. It's I think every game ever since A Link to the Past, the Master Sword has been a very big deal. It's actually usually one of my most favorite scenes in every single game. Twilight Princess has a great Master Sword scene. Well, Breath of the Wild 2, as Breath of the Wild was really good, and so was Tears of the Kingdom. They get better with every game, in my opinion. So there's definitely going to be a good 3-minute Master Sword. kind of moment. It's definitely going to happen. If
Then we-
they don't do that, they completely just miss the whole ball.
Yeah. I would love that. I mean, Paul mentioned something that you're right, Paul. I'm like, man, Deku Tree cannot die in the first movie either. We have to get attached to him. We have to get attached to Deku Tree, kind of get to know him and kind of.
Does he have to die at all? How about he
Maybe-
just gives us well wishes
I
and we
hope
just don't
not.
see him anymore?
Maybe not. Who knows? They're
I
telling.
hope not, but
It's an original story, so maybe he doesn't die, right? Or maybe he does die, and we see a little twig like what happened in the Guardians of the Galaxy. How
We already did that in Ocarina of Time. We're like on our third
Second-
Deku Tree now.
he
I
sacrificed.
think.
Is it? I don't know.
Or no. I think for sure there's two.
What gives
Deku
me
trees.
hope? What gives me hope on the Deku Tree is actually, Groot. I am Groot. And then the animation for him has always been very well on point. And I like how the little Groot when he actually comes back to life, the little guy and he grows up. But for the Deku Tree, man, I picture this huge giant tree full. Of course, there's a great Deku Tree full of wisdom and just kind of this overprotecting love and Link kind of looking up and like talking to the Deku Tree for the very first time. Maybe at the beginning of the movie we have a Link that's clueless, right? He doesn't know his purpose. He discovers his purpose and he meets Princess Zelda. We see that connection kind of, right away, and then the Great Deku Tree. It all comes together. So they have to start somewhere where new fans can kind of jump in and say, okay, I understand what's going on so far, and then follow along. Oh wow, so this is how this happened, and this is how this happened, and this is who the Great Deku Tree is, and maybe they do where did the Great Deku Tree come from? Was he the only one? Were there other trees like him?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Like if there's like a world of Deku trees and little. I see what you're saying.
Because if you look at Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, there is these huge trees that are dead and like broken down, but they're like just massive and they're hollow. And when you climb on the tree, like, oh, is this another Great Deku Tree? Or this was like a giant oversized tree?
Oh, you're talking about that one spot, and it looks it looks like a huge tree with just.
It's massive. Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and there are a couple of them all around the place of who knows, right? I mean, that's like something that they never explored before. They go to explore, but I think the possibilities of us hearing about the movie are very likely. I'm getting excited more and more as we get close to it. One thing I'm gonna say, guys, is whomever they choose for. Did I say it right? Whomever, right?
Mhm.
Whomever.
Close enough.
Yeah. They choose as Link or Zelda. I think we should really be even if it's not who you were thinking of, right? Even if it's completely unexpected, right? I think
we have to protect them. It's our job.
Yeah, I think we know.
Sort of.
We can kind of trust that they know what they're doing, because I at the beginning when they announced Mr. Chris Pratt as Mario, a little bit of me said, interesting, right? But I actually trusted the process. Maybe they know what they're doing. I know Mario is a plumber from Brooklyn, right? Mario is a New Yorker from Brooklyn. He's a plumber, so I understand his accent. Maybe because I grew up with Mario, and before Mario 64, there was Mario the Super Show, and so I heard that was my first Mario there. It's the Mario Super Show, and so it was that kind of accent. So I've heard more than one Mario, and so I think that's why I kind of trusted the process. But with Link, we've never heard Link speak. We only heard him yell and ha. Although he does have a voice, because there was a cartoon during the NES, SNES period where he did have a voice. I didn't like his character so much because he was kind of goofy and kind of like lazy and laid back and kind of. Do you remember, Paul? Did you guys see the cartoon?
Yeah, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show and the Super Mario World animated series too. And
they had the Legend of Zelda inside the Super Show. And so I've seen Link talk, right? And so Link does talk. Miyamoto already explained that he does have a voice. Is that we're kind of in the position of Link, so we're controlling him, and therefore, you know, that's what it is. What it is, right? RPGs are like that. Sometimes the main character doesn't really talk because you are the main character, and I think that's the reason why in most of the Legend of Zelda games before you could actually name Link, rename him because you can put your own name. You can add your own name instead of making him Link. You could. I used to name him Mikey. You know, so it's like that. So I think we should trust the process and trust who they choose, and just as fans just be as excited as we can because it's the Legend of Zelda live action movie, which is crazy. None of us thought it could ever happen, right? And it was a surprise because we all thought it was going to be animated along with Illumination, right? And maybe this is just a blessing in disguise that it is not, because we know we're getting another Mario type of movie, and so maybe it's too repetitive to have Link and to have Zelda live action to tell the story how it should be. Then maybe it needs to be live action. For those of you who wanted a cartoon version or an animated version, you can rest assured that it's in good hands. And when they asked what type of movie they wanted, Westball wanted to produce, he said that what he wanted to bring in is a Studio Ghibli type of movie from The Legend of Zelda, but in live action form. So at least all of you guys who wanted a Studio Ghibli Zelda movie, Wes knows what we're talking what you're talking about, because he also looks up to that type of animation, type of character, and stuff like that. So that's actually pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. I don't think we're gonna get any trailer now. It's too soon. At least the announcement and a release date, and maybe the actors like they with the Mario movie. And then in future directs or future presentations, we might get a trailer moving forward. What do you think, guys?
Go ahead, Paul.
Sounds good. All possible.
I'm down for whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's too soon to give us anything. I think we need to, this is just me thinking, that the movie stuff needs to start coming out when Switch 2 is officially out, because that's our Zelda thing until we get the next really, really big game.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say, and I feel like I say this every time we talk about the Zelda movie. Nobody worry.
Yeah.
We're creatives. Paul, Mike, myself, we're creatives. Miyamoto is living his absolute best life right now.
Oh yeah, right now, yeah, of course. Yeah.
This has been in his head since he was a young man, or really a little boy. So the fact that he's there, I don't think he's going to hinder anything Wes wants to do or the writers want to do, but he's not going to let it get so out of hand that it's something that is just not Zelda. So Miyamoto and Nintendo signed off on making it live action.
Oh yeah, sure. And one little detail that people don't seem to mention is that he said they've been planning this movie for 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay? Avita Rod and him have been talking about the movie, and they've already known it's going to be live action for 10 years now. This is not when they announced the movie, he said it. This movie's been in planning for 10 years now. We've been talking about this for 10 years. So they've had 10 years to go over what kind of story they want to tell, how they want to tell it, and how to introduce this franchise to a new audience, and still keep the fans happy. I mean,
and there's a way to do it. There's actually several ways to do it.
Yeah. So I trust the process. I'm just super excited about what they're gonna do with it, and I really hope we do hear something from the movie soon. The movie, guys. So we are used to, when it comes to announcements regarding IP franchise, right? We say, there's a game in development. We think it's gonna take 3, 4, 5 years because we're used to developing time for a game. Movies are completely different nowadays with today's technology and with the advances in movie filmmaking. Movies don't take 3 to 4 years to make anymore. They don't take 3 to 4 years to make. I remember I followed the Superman movie from the announcement and the cast and everything, right? And from the cast announcement to the release date, which is next year, by the way. Last year they announced the movie, right? This year they announced the cast. Next year the movie's releasing in summer for the Superman movie, the new movie with what's this guy's name? I forgot. The director. He's directing it, but he's also now the head of DC. Forgot. He's the guy who directed. Man, I'm having a brain fart right now.
The new Superman. You're looking for the director's name?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
James Gunn.
James Gunn. Yeah, James Gunn. Yeah, James Gunn. So I've been following his from the moment from the moment he announced the takeover from DC, where he announced the upcoming movies from we're making the first movie will be a Superman movie, and the next one will be Batman the Brave and the Bold, and we're gonna do the Swamp Thing, and we're gonna do this and this and that. From that moment to release date, it's been less than 2 years. From that moment to release date has been less than 2 years. And Superman is a really, you have to make him fly a lot, destroy a lot of buildings, and we have aliens, we have a whole bunch of stuff. And this the movie has a whole bunch of superheroes and have a whole bunch of things going on. And so yeah, it doesn't take as much to make a movie. So if they've been planning it for 10 years, let's say production has already started, meaning they did pre-production. Now Westball is exploring Hyrule, meaning that they are currently in production. I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility that this movie can come out next year. So in 2025, early 2026, so around spring 2026. And so when it comes to time frame, that's my timeline. I'll say summer 2025 to spring 2026. For me to when it comes to this movie, and then later on in 2026, is that when we're gonna see the other movie, right? The other Mario movie, the other and
the official date was like April 2026, I think. Hold on,
April.
I think Zelda's gonna come out Christmas Day 2026, Friday, December 25th.
December 26th.
Mario
April
is
3rd, 2026 is the
Mario
next
is
Mario movie.
April 2026.
So do you think they're gonna make it a Christmas movie? Not a Christmas movie per se, but a Christmas release?
April Mario and December Zelda, stagger them 8 months apart.
I would love it to be a summer movie instead of a holiday, like in the holiday season.
But Paul, we're all coming to stay at your house for the movie. So do you really want us all there at Christmas?
Hey, that'd be cool.
For the premiere.
That'd be fun.
Okay. So everybody, December, Christmas 2026, we're all going to go to Uncle Paul's house so we can watch the Zelda movie, and Uncle Paul's going to make sure we all have food and presents.
Yeah, and we're going to jump in his Mario pool. But by then it should be Zelda pool because, the season and everything. So we'll go there. We'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
And so with that, let's go ahead and jump over, take the next 10 minutes of the podcast and jump over to the Q&A part of the podcast and get some questions from the chat. You guys have been amazing, been super fun and
engaging. They've been asking some really great questions.
I know, for real. And so that now we're going to go ahead and go into those questions. So if you have a question, go ahead and do at Mike Odyssey. That way it's highlighted and we can see it from our end here, and you can address the question to anyone on the podcast or for the entire crew. So go ahead and start bringing in your questions so that we can address them. It could be about anything we spoke about today. You know what? The question could be about anything. It could be the Zelda movie. It could be about Mario movie. It could be about a game. It could be about Switch 2. Go ahead and answer, ask away.
As long as it's in the realm of gaming, I'm not going to give you my mac and cheese recipe like right now.
Yeah. You can't do that.
Yeah, because I kind of have to really explain it.
All right. So we have a super chat from
Boo
Mini. I think I caught it, right? Super chat Boo Mini. It says here, Have any of you played Tears of the Kingdom a second time? And if so, what different things did you do that in that playthrough? I did. I'm on my second round right now. And on my second time around, I've been basically just shooting um these little Koroks into the atmosphere with my rockets, and just I'm trying to get them to where they need to go, but the most creative way possible instead of just carrying them. I'm kind of trying to shoot them like a rocket and stuff like that. And sometimes I lose them. I just keep on, I just keep on going. But I'm trying to. First time around, I just did the story, like the main story. I didn't do a lot of the side quests. I went through the main story, and the second time around, I'm trying to do more of the side quests. And so I am currently on that side quest where you have to go into different places and try to kind of fight out the enemy. Like they're in these little pirate ships, and so you have to kind of go into each pirate ship and just kind of defeat the bokoblins and all that stuff. And then, and then I'm also in the side quest where I'm with the rest of the crew, the little Hylians who are just marching in and fighting and trying to, and at the end they're like, "Yeah, we did it! All right." What I like to do though is I like to go ahead of them, defeat everyone, and then see their reactions. Like, wait, did you do this all by yourself?
Oh wait, that happens? You can do that?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna try it. Okay.
You get a different response if you go in there ahead of them and you defeat everyone before they get there. They're like, what happened here? They still give you the rewards and everything, but it's hilarious that next response. Yeah, it's fun.
I am also still on my extremely slow playthrough of Tears in the Kingdom. The first time I played it, I did as much as possible, meaning I went through the entire story. Of course, I did all the side quests. I did all the stuff even at the stables. This time, I'm doing all of that. Plus, the reason I'm getting all the Koroks, and on one hand, I'll never forgive Nintendo for putting 1,000 of anything in any game. On the other hand, the purpose of the Koroks is to ensure that you have been everywhere on the map. You have discovered everything. There is literally nothing else for you to look at. There's nothing else for you to do. So that's what's different on my playthrough now. Also, I like driving through Hyrule a lot. So I build a lot of vehicles, and I literally drive through Hyrule. Also spend a lot of more time in the depths too, because the depths kind of freak me out a lot at first. I was like, I don't want to go down here. It's freaky. Yeah. And then there's glue mans down there, and there's other the replica of the bosses are down there. I'm like,
yeah.
I got over that, and things like that. And then there was a couple of side quests that were a little bit difficult for me. I'm not actually that great at building and doing certain things, so it's kind of like, okay, well, now's the time to kind of get good and just kind of enjoying the world again, enjoying those characters again. And it's kind of like, oh my gosh, one day I'm going to see you on the big screen. Like, I'm going to see them on the big screen. Like when the movie tickets are announced, I'm getting them day one in advance. The IMAX theater, I want the big comfy chairs, the vibrating comfy chairs and everything. Taking my peoples, whoever wants to go. Joe's going with me if he wants to or not, but whatever. I'm taking everybody to go with me. Like, this is let's see if they did it right. Because if they, for any reason, I don't like it, y'all know what's gonna happen the following podcast.
Oh yeah.
Mike might have to ban me.
You're not alone. I mean, I just trust. I want to be out there.
It's not gonna be bad though, so we don't have to really worry about it.
Yeah. All right, Paul. So are you on your second round, or did you finish the first time?
Have not started a second round from beginning.
Okay.
I have my one big file, and my one big file I beat, back when it came out within the first few weeks, and then played it for a couple of months afterwards, and have a couple of 100 hours in it. And then once in a while now I dive back in. But just playing around, tinkering around, doing a couple of little missions here, finding some random Koroks. That's honestly how I amassed so many hours in Breath of the Wild. I only ever had my one playthrough, my one main file in that game.
Mhm.
But for the last several years, I just couldn't stop playing the game. And I would have beaten so much, navigated so much, had my whole hero's path get too high that it started going from, the last 220 hours because it ran out, because my overall time is like 480 hours. And, I just like putting on my mask, hopping on like horseback or on my motorcycle, and just going in a random area and then finding a random Korok and being like, wow, I can't believe after spending 400 hours in the game, I didn't explore this little area, or this little Korok was found in a whole new way. Like, they made that. I mean, now I know you could unlock a Korok by jumping over 3 consecutive fences.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that for my first couple of 100 hours in Breath of the Wild. Like, wow,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you jump over 3 consecutive
I
fences,
didn't know that either.
that
Yeah,
unlocks a Korok.
You-
And that's an awesome gameplay mechanic that you wouldn't have known otherwise. You know what I mean? And
I just found out.
it's pretty awesome.
Is that
So
where
with-
you get? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So with Tears of the Kingdom, it's been the same thing. Now, Breath of the Wild, I will say it's a little bit different, because even though I didn't quite start my own second file, when my son became old enough to not tinker on my Breath of the Wild file and actually start his own, and when my daughter became old enough to not play with mine or my son's file and start her own, I did kind of hop in with them and re-experience some of the earlier parts of the games with them on their respective files, like kind of helping aid in their quests, but not like playing necessarily, unless something got too hard, in which I took over. But that's a little different than starting your own file from scratch, But yeah.
There's got to be so much fun for that, about that, for being a dad and being able to also watch one of your favorite games be experienced like through your kids' eyes. That's got to feel good.
That's a cool thing.
Yeah.
I love that with my nieces and nephews are just, ew, auntie, we're like, we have lives. We don't play games. I'm like, wait till I get 40. And you realize how much fun you actually do need in your life. But they're great, but they're just different lives. But one of the best things is when I'm on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, is always finding somebody who's never played a Zelda game. Like, they know of it, but they're like, one of my favorites is DB Geek on YouTube and Twitch and everything. And he's such a PlayStation guy. And he was like, wait, I've never played a Zelda game. This is Zelda. And his first one was Breath of the Wild. And it was like the joy. It's like to watch somebody discover games that you love for the first time. It was like, and now he's played through just about all the Zelda games. So that's always just so much fun. So much fun. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of Father's Day is this weekend?
This Sunday, yeah.
Oh, okay. I talk to my dad like all the time, so
it's not as important. It's not as important.
No, it is. It is important. Fathers. Okay, I'm saying this as a daddy's girl. Okay, just pretend this is my like torch or something or whatever. Fathers are needed. Fathers are wonderful, and if you have one, please call them. Please go visit. Please give them a present. Okay. But not even just because it's Father's Day this weekend. Do it just because he's your dad.
Yeah, dads love hugs. I'm a dad and I love hugs. So hugs.
Dads love hugs. Dads love phone calls. They love presents. Okay, and get him a real present. Do not get him a tie. Okay.
Unless it's a Donkey Kong tie.
Yeah, unless it's a theme tie.
I would go bananas for a nice red tie that said DK in yellow.
Unless he specifically asked for a tie. Okay, well, get him a tie as well. How about that?
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. So we have Lurin, historian. What's up, Lurin? Time no see. Since I'm maybe a bit late to the party, do we have any predictions for the upcoming direct? Real quick.
I predict there will be games.
Let's go ahead and do top 3 predictions. Just 3 games each.
What did I say earlier? Oh crap, I forgot. When I couldn't see.
All right, I'm gonna say Metroid is gonna be there, Zelda is gonna be there, and the Legend of Zelda movie and game is gonna be there as well. Those are my 3 predictions.
Okay, here's my 3 predictions.
Mm-hmm.
Something Metroid, something Zelda. Farming sims.
Yeah, for farming sims.
For the coziness.
I bought a cozy farming sim involving every Nintendo IP, where they're all living next to each other. They're like they you know, Zelda lives over there. Metroid, Samus has her little house over there with little garden, and then you know all the little cozy, little cute looking like little chibi characters of every Nintendo IP, but in a little farming little thingy there.
Nintendo, you know what? Nintendo, I kind of low key. Now this has nothing to do with the direct, but I kind of low key hope that they do come up with a game where all the characters do get together. I know we have Smash, but I'm something different than Smash.
Yeah,
something different than racing. Do Animal Crossing like Nintendo All Stars Edition.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go.
I want Link and Bayonetta 2. So bring the entire roster from Smash over. I want Bayonetta and Link living next door to each other, and they're like best friends like ever. And like I want Mario and Luigi living, next to each other, and like for some reason, like Sora's there. Yeah, I want all that. Nintendo, go do that.
Can you start a new Tears of the Kingdom with that file without erasing the first one? Technically, you can
wait.
Create a new profile, and then play in that profile.
Paul didn't get to answer because I was talking too long.
All right, go ahead. Paul. Top three.
At this point, I don't want to say I've given up hope, but I think the time has passed, and that would be Duck Hunt 40. Because Duck Hunt's 40th anniversary was April, but I still think you should do
for NSO.
Yeah, another exclusive NSO game.
So, and would they sell the Zapper like wireless? It would be awesome if they did, right? Like a Zapper, like the original Zapper, but a wireless version, like they sell the NES controller and everything else.
I think it's gonna use motion control gun, or you could use the IR blaster on Joy-Con too. So motion control, kind of frantic thing, but that's just my kind of silly one, just because I think that would have been cool as a tribute, and it's only available for like 9 months. You know what I mean? So you better play it. Yeah. So I'll throw it in there just to be fun, but I don't think it's actually going to be there, but it would be cool. So Metroid Prime 4, we'll go with Duck Hunt 40, and either Star Fox or Donkey Kong.
Okay. Those are good picks. Really good picks.
I would pick Donkey Kong, I think, over Star Fox.
There's a part of me that says, gosh, we've waited this long for some of these dormant Nintendo franchises to show up on Nintendo Switch that kind of flew under the radar and didn't land on the system in the last 7 years. Might as well just wait another year or two and see them on a greater horsepower machine and really see the bells and whistles shine on Nintendo Switch 2. But now is the time to release almost later in the generation these lesser known Nintendo franchises that don't sell as well on a platform with 150 million install base.
Yeah. You
could say the same argument, no, save Star Fox to make it look gorgeous as a compelling reason to buy Nintendo Switch 2. But I'd also say, no, sell Star Fox on the system that has 150 million, so a small percentage of the people could buy it, and that's still a few million people that bought it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So, like, I don't think the next 3D Mario should be on Nintendo Switch. No, save it for Nintendo Switch 2. I don't think the next Mario Kart should be on Nintendo Switch. No, save it for Nintendo Switch 2. But Punch-Out, I think Punch-Out could very well be on Nintendo Switch now and raise its stake. But if you have too many of these late generation Nintendo Switch games of these lesser known IP, then sort of what are you going to have on Nintendo Switch 2? Just the sequels to the big, Mario, Mario Kart, Smash Bros, Animal Crossing, Splatoon, Fire Emblem, Xenoblade, or some of these lesser known ones? I don't know.
I think at this point they're saving their big stuff from the Switch 2. I think at this point they should not release anything new on Switch. I think it should be ports, remakes, maybe new games, but other, like, for example, I was gonna say Firefox again, Star Fox. I would say maybe other ports and remakes, Link to the Past or something like that. Remake top down. I would say yeah, but bigger mainline titles, I don't want to see anymore until I see Switch 2, like the next 3D Mario, the next Zelda, the next Splatoon, whatever like that. So, but we are there, guys. We are there. Shintaro Furukawa mentioned that we are going to, they're going to be reveal the system within this fiscal year. Every day that passes, we're closer to that. Okay, every single day that passes, we're closer to that. Let me tell you something. We are in June. We're on June 14th, right? And so right now, the fiscal year ends in March. So July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. That's 9 months. All right. So that's 9 months.
That's not long.
That's 9 months until the end of the fiscal year. We're going to see it within the fiscal year. So don't even be surprised if we get this Nintendo Direct. Nintendo go ahead, they finish off the year, right? When they finish off the year, so they don't really need to do a September Direct. And then around that time, we do get the reveal for the Switch 2, right? And so from that point on, it's like full gear ahead. The train is full speed.
Ahead.
And yeah, exactly. That's what I said, right? What did I say? Full gear.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah,
I knew what you meant.
I watched too many car movies, I watched too many racing movies and Kevin Hart movies too. So
can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what's like the most exciting thing about this Direct? We know absolutely like
nothing. I love it.
Like it's not even, and people are like, oh well, I'm not talking about leaks. Like there's nothing on the schedule. It's not like a few years ago where it's like, oh well, Tears of the Kingdom is coming out soon, or we didn't even know it was Tears of the Kingdom. What else came out that year? I don't know. We didn't know it was called Astral Chain was coming. All these other different games. We know nothing. Yeah. That's what, and in my opinion, that's what makes it amazing.
Yeah.
It's because everything we're not expecting. We can sit here and guess and do all the math and everything, but we really don't know. And I think that is like the best ever. So whatever they put out, I'm excited for.
Listen, do you believe that there are people out there that says, you know what, Pyoro hasn't said anything yet, so I don't think this is the Direct? I'm like,
Furukawa said it. Come on.
What?
Furukawa said it. So all we have to do is, and I totally love the excitement, and this is our fun place where we all get to just geek out and love games and everything. But we don't even have to be patient. But guys, it's okay if the actual date doesn't leak. It's okay if certain games don't leak. I think this was the best way. I hope that Nintendo continues this, like maybe at their next financial meeting. Okay, we're going to have 3 Directs next year. One's going to be in spring, one's going to be in summer, one's going to be in fall. So, or something like that. Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I think that's enough for me. I am cruising, on the hype train. I'm good. Yeah. I don't need to know anything else.
All we can say is confirmed there's a Direct coming this month, right? Nintendo is off script, so we have no clue when it's gonna be. Remember, there was a lot of content creators and a lot of people and a lot of leakers. Oh yeah, it's gonna be on the 11th. On the 11th, 11 is coming fast. Nothing happens. So it's gonna be on the 12th. I said the 12th. The 12th is gone, not here. You know what I mean? So we don't know.
It will be at least by June 30th of 2024.
At the very. We don't even know if Nintendo might drop it on a Friday. That's how crazy it is, because it's they're so off script right now. We have not had a proper Nintendo Direct this year. Yeah, we had the indie world, we had the partner showcase, but we have not had an actual Nintendo Direct, General Direct this year. This will be the very first one, and I think that makes it even more exciting because they got some unfinished business to do. They got some things to show us, and the main reason for this Direct is to fill in the rest of the year. We got games until July, so August, September, October, November, and maybe even December. We'll get a December game this year too. So that's 5 months of games, first party games, by the way, that Nintendo might display, might show us in this Nintendo Direct, not to overshadow the rest of the announcements, because we're gonna get more announcements, not just Nintendo games, but other indie developers who come in who present their games as well, and of course AAA games and stuff like that. So it's exciting, guys. Exciting. Like I said, if the Nintendo Direct, and I'm repeating this again, is not either on Wednesday or on Thursday, I need to dye my hair purple. I don't know how that's gonna happen. I don't know how that's gonna happen. I already have approval from the wife. She said I get to pick the shade of purple. She gets to pick the shade of purple. So she
ask her if she's okay with darker purple, because I think it'll look a little bit. It'll
like,
still pop, but I think it'll look a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm just hoping.
I mean, ask her permission, because she wants you to still look good in it. So I just saying that I think darker purple will look a little bit better.
Yeah, she did some research and she's looking at little pictures like of people with purple hair. Like, okay, that's not so bad. I'm like,
oh my gosh, is she gonna do it, or is she gonna take you to like an actual stylist?
No. She's actually taking me to an actual. She's taking me to a like a professional place, and they're gonna do it there. But yeah. I don't want to do it. So,
your wife knows what's up.
That's in case. That's if I lose. I don't want to count. I don't want to say I lose. I'm not gonna lose. Okay, it's gonna be Wednesday or Thursday. If it's Tuesday, then that's. But so stay tuned for that. I'll do anything for you guys just to keep you guys entertained, and just make the stakes a little higher, so that yeah. Any last things you guys might want to bring up before we go ahead and put this podcast to rest, because it is Friday, but the next time we meet, it would have been the Direct already if it was next week. So next week by this time, we would have seen a Direct if it happens next week. So anything else you guys want to add? Paul?
No, that's it for me.
All right, guys. So listen, if we do get a Direct on Tuesday, it'll be announced by Monday. Obviously, by Monday, right? If we do get a Direct by Tuesday, it'll get announced by Monday. If it's on Wednesday, it'll get announced by Tuesday, like that. So a day before. And if it does happen, the next podcast will be a live reaction podcast. Not live, but a reaction podcast to the Nintendo Direct. I am going to live stream the Direct when it happens. And of course, Paul and Joycey and Lily and Zach are free to join and react together on the actual Direct as it happens. But we'll just have to wait and see. We are in exciting time. This is the end of the line for the Nintendo Switch. And there's no better time to be a Nintendo fan than right now, than today. We got theme parks, we got movies coming, and we got video games, and we have a new console. I mean, hello, what else can you ask? Every single area of entertainment Nintendo's hitting us with. So it's amazing. Let me go ahead and find that's not it. We've been driving around. That's a good way. I think I want to put that one on for the end, right? All right, my friends, you guys have been more than amazing. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let me tell you something. This week, this is Friday, right? This is the best time to end your week. It doesn't matter what happened this week, whether you had a good or bad, right? Guess what? The best thing about this is that it's ending. Tomorrow is a brand new day. It's time to start over. It's time to get up with more strength than ever and go fulfill your dreams. Get that job you want. Get that career. Get whatever it is that you're dreaming for. Go for it, right? With that, 2 words we got to let you know. Number 1. What is it, Joycey?
Huh? Oh, wait, what are we doing?
2 words. The two things.
Oh! Never give up. Don't do that, because we need you. You're important.
Don't give up. Don't do it. You might be this close, but guess what? You might be close to accomplishing what you really want, right? Some people give up right at the finish line. They just can't see the finish line because they're so exhausted. But if you give up now, you never know if tomorrow is that you reach that finish line. So don't give up. Keep pushing forward. You can do it. We believe in you. You are awesome. Paul, number 2.
Journey on.
The journey continues here at the Nintopics Podcast. We'll see you in the next awesome episode here at the Odyssey. But before we let you go,
Happy Father's Day to all the dads. Happy Father's Day, Mike and Paul.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Happy Father's Day. You know, kisses and hugs and everything in between. And we'll see you guys in the next one. And with that, we'll just dance the night away. Paul's not dancing. I said Paul doesn't dance.
I'm head move. I'm head.
Your other self would dance.
I'm head bopping.
You can't see me. You can't see me.
Not that. Okay, Mike, I'm tired. I'm old. Turn it off.
We got to do this part. Come on, Paul. You got to do it.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye. Oh man, that's that crazy